I'm here with Kevin Heyer, who's a 2002 graduate of the Labor Studies and Employment Relations Department, and he is currently a limited in-house counsel for the SEIU, aka attorney, and he does a lot of the preparation for arbitrations. So I asked Kevin, what goes into becoming an arbitrator?
Well, most arbitrators, in my experience, do labor arbitration on the side in addition to another career, or they are retired from practicing law or from being a human resources manager or being a union business agent. Arbitration is very, very lucrative, but it takes a while to establish a following. And when you do establish a reputation, you'll have a lot of unions and employers want you to arbitrate grievances because they know that you'll issue a fair, just decision. That's particularly important because labor arbitration awards are very, very difficult to overturn. You'd have to go to court to do so, and the circumstances in which you can overturn a labor arbitrator's award, it's called vacatur, are very, very, very narrow. So when I'm researching arbitrators to arbitrate a grievance, say a termination of a long-term employee, or a class action grievance over a decision that the employer made, say transferring work, it's really important to me that I have an arbitrator that knows the industry, which in my instance is healthcare, and really will issue an award that does right for all the parties involved. Because again, labor arbitration awards by the contract language are final and binding.
So, Kevin, recently you had a case at a hospital, and you mentioned at our meeting the age of the arbitrator. How old was the arbitrator again?
In all sincerity, I do believe this arbitrator was close to 90 years old. He was every bit of 80 and probably closer to 90. Industrial relations, even the name is an old name. This is an older industry. Most folks involved in what I call traditional labor law are of another generation beyond my own, and or several, but they're very good, and they know arbitration, they know labor relations, and I feel very comfortable placing them on these cases because they've seen it all, and they issue awards that reflect it.
So like Joe Paterno, arbitrators just never retire, do they?
They don't, do they? Well, because it's an avocation, they don't have to retire. If you can find two parties that are willing to ask you to come arbitrate a grievance, you could do it from your nursing home chair, I suppose.
So if students think that it's too late in life for them to really get into arbitration, that's really not the case. It's more about networking and building up.
Yeah, it's absolutely not about your age, and I say that in complete seriousness. If anything, I think some gray hair would help you have the credibility to be an arbitrator. You do, though, absolutely need really rock-solid experience in human resources, labor relations, what I call traditional labor law, which is dealing with the legal impacts of a collective bargaining agreement, to have folks comfortable enough to approach you. And I also believe that the American Arbitration Association and the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service, which supply panels of arbitrators, do have requirements of experience before they will place you on a panel.
Well, thank you, Kevin. That was really informational about arbitration, and really enjoyed you taking the time to explain it.
My pleasure.